Very good team. They've been obviously battle tested, probably more than anybody in the country. They've had an unbelievable schedule, and obviously with that, you know they're going to come into our game, and like sometimes when you play games, like as a coach, you're like, are we confident? Are we prepared? Have we played the schedule that gets us in this position? Because obviously, the non-conference really was your setup for conference, and now the fact that we'll play some conference games before, they've done that already, we've done that already. It's a little bit different as times are changing right here, which I think are for the good, but they aren't going to walk in here and not be ready. Like these guys are going to be ready. Like they have played some really good people offensively. They really put you in a bind with their ability to break you down off the dribble and shoot. The four guys that they start are all prolific, shooters. I think it's hard to get each one of them going in every game. I think that's always when and we try to do what they're doing also is put four guys out there that can really shoot threes and have good spacing, with their skill level, but getting everybody to shoot the ball well on the same night is always a challenge. It rarely happens. But if you can, and if they get into that spot where they're getting everything, they're getting their threes, they're getting to the rim, they're getting to the free throw line, they're breaking you down, they have you in rotations, it's going to be a long night for you. Obviously, Dane Goodwin had a great night other night. Hub is leading them. Mazewski is a very talented inside-outside player. Then obviously Cormac Ryan. He had a huge first half against Ohio State and really showed his ability, but he's a very good combo guard and adjusting into their system. Durham, shot blocker, long, makes things difficult for you, good around the rim. So they're starting five, and obviously they play those guys a lot. Getting the kid from Santa Clara eligible with that rule changing other day, I think really helps their depth. And obviously they weren't a very deep team, but I think he really helps that. So, we're going to have our hands full in terms of guarding them.
Available. Does that change things at all in terms of now you can really start to kind of figure out what you are, you can kind of grow, you can have the kind of competition and practice that you
Right.
want, things like that?
Well, I think that last part you said is probably the most important, having competition and practice. And I told our guys that nothing's ever concrete, nothing's ever final. And so, like, we had some guys not play as much. It doesn't mean that that's the way it's going to be going forward. And, you have to be able to work on your game, keep watching film, put in extra time, compete in practice, move that needle in practice. Nobody's arrived. There's nobody on our team that's arrived. And, keep working to get better. And that's what great players never feel like they've arrived. They take their successes, and that builds confidence for them, but they also understand they have to learn, from their breakdowns and get those things fixed. And it's just such an important part of somebody's development. So that's kind of where we are with it, but we're by no means set in what we're doing. Now we got to kind of play and try to get things figured out. But guys are going to have to be productive. As a coach, you're kind of feeling your way through some things when guys are coming back. Eric Hunter, now into his third game, obviously played better than the first two when he came back. Jaden obviously was very anxious to play and excited to play, had a couple good things, but, that anxiousness led to some, ill-advised shots and just trying to get the feel while you're out there. Ethan Morton, didn't play in the second half. It was just one of those games where when certain people stay in it, now you got the next guy who's going to be, playing with those guys. What's the best fit for that where we are right now. And he's, obviously been through, a real tough deal, but I also know he's really competitive and he's going to be a fabulous player for us. So, just keep working and trying to get him as much minutes as we get him so he can grow, because I definitely think he can help us.
You think Purdue and you and basketball program still committed to this event moving forward? I think the contract's up in, I think next year, but is this something you still want to participate in if it can work?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, without question. I think it's been great, and it's for us. I think we have the worst record in it, but it's also something that's helped us too. And so it's we've had, Butler and Notre Dame they've exposed us in these games. But also I think sometimes getting exposed by quality teams can make you better, and that's what you want. But I think for the state of Indiana, all the fans from all four of those institutions, it's been a great event. It really has. And I always leave there and I'm like, you're pulling your hair out 80% of the time because you've lost 70% of whatever the percentage is. But I know in 3 to 4 weeks after that, it's like, hey, that game made us better. That game, playing somebody as good as Notre Dame or Butler with the successes they've had here in the past 10 years. Not to say they haven't had success before, but just that's how long the event's been, has really helped us. And, hopefully we can continue it.